Hello guys, welcome to GEEKAMANIA. That's Michael.
I'm me and that's Mark.
I'm me, that's Keir.
And that's Ben, and I'm me.
Hello, welcome to another episode of GEEKAMANIA. Now, contrary to what you're seeing, this episode these guys might not talk as much, because this is just going to be another one of my rants. Because I like ranting, and that's what I do.
He does.
I know!
If anyone wants to see the Ben's Pepper ranting, watch Taken 2 review.
But yeah, this is something that's been on my mind. Slight foreword before I get into this. I have not played the entirety of Grand Theft Auto 5, so I'm about a third of the way through. So this is just my impressions so far and problems I have with the game at the moment. And it's all to do with the writing. Because Grand Theft Auto 5 is a good game, guys. Really pretty, really big, lots of things to do, it feels like a great world. There's just one problem. Everybody's a dick. I'm not saying like everybody like does like annoying things or just like acts like a criminal. It's a Grand Theft Auto game. I expect them to be criminals. But I don't expect them to be assholes to every single other human being on the planet, and every other human being on the planet to also be an unsympathetic asshole. I don't like anyone in this game. At all.
What, even the three main characters don't like
Especially the three main characters. The only one that's kind of likeable is Franklin. For those of you guys who haven't played the game, you three, Franklin is a young black kid, like mid-20s. He's done a few bad things in his past, you know, hanging around with the wrong crowd, and you know, he's kind of just trying to make his way in the world. And you know, that's not a terrible idea for a story. But the problem is he just keeps on doing bad shit and just making life worse for himself and hanging out with these criminal idiots who will just go on these stupid rampages. And it's just like, even Franklin, who is supposed to be the protagonist, the neutral party in this, he doesn't really do much. He's not really interesting. He's not whiny. He's not really against anything. He just kind of goes along for the ride, and that's not a very interesting character.
So how does it work between the three main characters? Is it something that works? I know Rockstar are an amazing company that make amazing games like Vice City, Red Dead Redemption, San Andreas, that sort of thing. Is kind of going with the three characters a risk that is also rewarded, or is it a risk that they kind of fail with?
Gameplay-wise, having three main characters is quite nice, because they've added some kind of like RPG-like mechanics. So like each character has slightly different stats and are better at doing different things. Like Franklin's the driver, Trevor is the gunman, Michael's more of the stealth guy. But story-wise, it makes it really weirdly scattershot, because you're dealing with three very different characters and them going through three very different arcs. You've got Franklin going through his coming-of-age, typical rags-to-riches GTA story.
Yeah.
You have Michael, who is a guy who has been a Grand Theft Auto protagonist, effectively. He's done all that stuff. He's gotten the money, he's got the house, he's got the wife, he's got the kids, and now he's being pulled back into the game. But he's an asshole. He hates his kids, he hates his wife.
What?
His wife and kids hate him. It's just...
And his kids hate his wife, and his wife hates his
yeah, it's just... His wife... One of the first scenes when you interact with Michael's family is you're playing as Franklin, you sneak through Michael's house, and his son is playing video games and calling people nigger and cunt and asshole and go home you homo fag to your homo house, I hope you like cocks. So yeah, he's clearly a really likeable character right off the bat.
Yeah.
His daughter is your typical, oh my god, why is Britney stealing my shares? You're such an asshole! Just completely stereotypical teenage American slut girl.
So true definition of the social family.
And his wife is in the kitchen with a tennis instructor going, oh, so I hear you're working on your backhand. And, you know, clearly having an affair there. And you go into the car and Michael comes up behind you and the guy's like, don't fucking move, asshole! It's like, okay, great, so this is the family we're supposed to be following? What? I don't like any of these characters. I don't even like Michael. And he's all like, everyone's an asshole. It's like, yeah, but you're an ass to them. You threatened your kid. You smashed your kid's TV for no reason, just because you're being a violent dick. You pull... The tennis instructor I mentioned, one of the first missions, Michael finds out that they've had this affair, so Michael follows this guy to his house and pulls his house off the fucking cliff, like any reasonable human would do.
Totally.
Pulls his health off the cliff.
Pulls his house off a cliff. It's one of those houses which is like nicely suspended on a few pillars on a mountainside. Rips one of the pillars off. House comes down. Yeah, he's clearly a nice guy. And don't even get me started on Trevor. Trevor is basically from what I can tell, the people who wrote Grand Theft Auto 5 are like, wow, that Breaking Bad looks like a good TV show. What if we took all of the sympathetic elements of Walter White's character out and made him a hillbilly? Yeah, that would make for a compelling story. Trevor is the weird thing. Trevor is the comic relief. He has funny moments, but the rest of the time he is an unsympathetic, violent arsehole with no redeeming qualities other than he's a bit comical. And there's just gruesome scenes of violence that are just completely out of place and not necessary. And you think, okay, well maybe there's some side characters to redeem all of these dodgy protagonists. I mean, they're the protagonists in a Grand Theft Auto game. They're supposed to be decrepit. Maybe there's one person you can get behind who's a side... No, they're all just idiots or arseholes. There is no positive female role models in this game. Every female character in this game is either a slut, cheating, a stripper, or completely neurotic batshit crazy. There's no one nice. No one.
Nice.
No, the policemen are all police brutality, overweight, drunken, donut-eating fatzos and violent. There's no one you like. There's no one.
That's weird for GTA games, because a lot of GTA games you have cats that you like.
Yeah.
Vice you had Tommy Facchetti and his lawyer.
Even Grand Theft Auto 4, which was the grittiest, dumbest, darkest, bleakest game I have played, had characters you liked. I mean, as annoying as Roman was, I liked Roman. He was just a nice guy who was out of his depth. I liked him. But there's not even that in this game. Everyone's a dick. And the weird thing is I then compared this to a game that I have played to completion, Saints Row 4. And there's so many likeable characters. And there's positive female role models. In fact, there are more positive female characters than there are male characters in Saints Row 4. And you have the option of playing as a girl in Saints Row 4. I live in a world where a Saints Row game is more moral, better written, and just a better overall game than Grand Theft Auto. It's mad.
What even better with the gameplay?
Yeah,
Have you done any of the other stuff you can do in the game?
I've done quite a bit in Grand Theft Auto. I've done a lot of the game-wise, this is a great game. Writing-wise, it's appalling. Writing-wise, Saints Row 4 is derivative, but at the same time, it's a parody, and it's very openly a loving parody of things. Grand Theft Auto 5 style of parody isn't parody. Okay, good parody, South Park. When you watch a South Park episode, good parody makes you think about the issue at hand, right? You think, oh wow, no, these guys are really raising a point here that I can see. Grand Theft Auto 5 doesn't hold a mirror to things. It takes a photo of them and just draws devil horns and stink lines coming off of it. It's like Life Invader, which is the Facebook. It's not a parody, it's just oh, isn't Facebook stupid? Hey guys, look, they're stealing your personal information. Isn't that stupid? Guys, that's really stupid. We should hate these guys. Don't you hate them? Look how stupid they are. They're all nerds. Haha, nerds. What? That's not how you make a good parody. Go watch some episodes of South Park. I'm sure you have, writers. That's how you make parody. You make a serious issue silly and portray it in a silly way in order to make people... and then put a point of view on it. You don't have a point of view, Grand Theft Auto. You don't. Saints Row has a point of view. It's the point of view is that, yeah, violence is bad, but it can be fun as long as it's not real. And this isn't real. Have fun with this. Grand Theft Auto 5's point of view, as far as I can tell, is every human being is a piece of shit and you should hate everyone you come across. That's not a compelling story to me.
Yeah, because maybe the reason they want to do that is because when you play in the game and you do these disgusting things, it makes you hate the fact you're doing them because it kind of shows that crime doesn't always pay.
Yeah, and that's the point of every Grand Theft Auto game ever, except this one. because usually you have the guy who is at rock bottom. He's been dealt a crappy hand by society, and now he's taking back a piece with his own 2 hands. This isn't like that. Michael is just doing this for the sheer fucks and giggles of it, regardless of the collateral damage he causes to his own fucking family, who he should be caring for, instead of just making their lives a living hell. Franklin is just vapid and just a blank slate. There's not really any character to him other than like, hey, I'm black, yo, nigga nigga. Really, he's one of the most racist characters, and yet he's actually quite accurately portrayed as black. He's just thrown in there because, hey, black people are poor.
Then again, remember in San Andreas, CJ, that whole people were quiet.
CJ was more compelling because at least he had a story, you know?
Mm.
It was generic as fuck. It was generic rags to riches.
Maybe your mind might change when you've...
It might do.
I played the first third. Maybe it might change when you play for the full game. You might see why they've done this. Maybe maybe halfway
that should be said, because I haven't played the whole game, so it might catch me. But at the moment, it's just I have no one to.
So, in your opinion, then, could you see in any way that they could, with the rest of the storyline that you haven't played, tie it in and actually turn you around?
Possibly. The most interesting character is Michael, because it's an angle they haven't explored before. The whole guy who has like done this, done that, done the whole thing, and is now like having to do this again, kind of for his family, but not really for his family because he doesn't give a fuck. You know, they might eventually tie it round, and you know his family might start to actually become cohesive, but I don't see that happening. In fact, it's weirdly it would be weirdly more compelling if the family. If, like, the wife left him and took the kids, and then he had to deal with that, and then eventually becomes a nice guy in spite of him being an arsehole and not having a good family. That would be a more interesting story arc. But from what I can see, that's not how it's going to happen. And if it turns out in a really cheesy way that's like, oh no, he gets the family back together and it's all nice, it would just feel dumb. Because that's not the image they're painting right now. And Franklin, again, like, it's just, it's frustrating. It's funny. And the game is great. Like, if you just boil it down to a game and just take out all the plot, it's a really, really nice game. I just wish this plot wasn't so unlikable. But yeah.
So you can definitely tell when you're playing it, it's definitely got Rockstar's, like...
Oh, it's Rockstar all over, obviously.
Oh yeah.
It's very Rockstar.
They make very good games. Like, they might...
And they're also bad at writing. But no, Saints Row 4 is a much... whole better game. It's funnier, it's more heartfelt. I felt more emotion in Saints Row 4. A game where you could dress up as Shrek beating people over the head with a purple dildo. I felt more emotional connection to that game. What does that say about the world right now?
Mike, you got anything you want to say or ask Ben at all?
How much you paying for it?
45 quid from any well-respected games retailer.
But... And then you've also got, as well, that's released today of filming, the multiplayer.
Yes, the multiplayer I'm looking forward to, because guess what? There's no story in multiplayer! Yay! It's just a game! But yeah, so that's my impressions on Grand Theft Auto 4/5, Saints Row 4.
Would you actually talk about GTA 5 then? They're doing the big online multiplayer, that Mark said.
Yeah.
Is that... When you got the game, were you thinking...
That was actually what I bought the game for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I said, like I got this game lent to me for like about half an hour. I played the game and was like, okay, I'm not liking where the story is going, but this game's nice. I like this game. Make this game, just put if I could have Saints Row 4's theming and plot and characters in this Grand Theft Auto 5 engine and it would be the perfect blend. But sadly, story is a big part of any game to me, and Grand Theft Auto 5 is just not likable. I don't connect with anyone, and I need to connect with someone.
You might do, as you said, you've only played a third, so you might do when you play
but
later on. There might be characters who might connect with you.
This is a troubling thing: is if you can't make a likable character in Act freaking 1, how are you going to carry them through Act 2?
Maybe they might change. You never know.
It's just... It's like even arsehole characters you can make likeable. But I don't even like these arseholes. They're reprehensible. They just don't... They have no redeeming qualities. None. At all.
Fair enough. Carl, what do you think? From things have you seen? What do you think?
Hi guys, I'm off camera. What I've seen at Grand Theft Auto 5, I would agree with Ben in terms of the characters being quite unlikable. If you're just looking for the humour side of it,
Oh, it's a
then
funny
spot
game.
on.
It's a funny game. At
Was
times. The satire needs work. Like, you need to learn how to make satire, but the fun is good.
I haven't played it myself, but a lot of my friends have got quite far. I think my brother's further than you. And in the game you can receive emails.
Yeah.
And Michael did receive an email from his daughter saying, even though you're an asshole, I miss you.
Oh.
And it was a very heartfelt email.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know which point of the story my brother is in. I
See,
just
there are
think
nice
he's further.
moments like that. I just wish she wasn't still a slutty teenage bitch who hangs out with porn stars. It's like,
And-
oh my god, Dad, you're ruining my life!
And another part of the game, his son pimps his dad's car as well. Which is unnecessary, but a nice gesture.
Yeah. The son character was just like someone was looking at Jonah Hill and was like, I want Jonah Hill in my video game. I would love to be exaggerating right now, but it's Jonah Hill's character in any of his films just put into a Grand Theft Auto game. It really is.
Yeah, in a less ragey way, I agree with Ben.
Yes, Ben likes to rage.
I might like him more if he was played by Jonah Hill.
His voice.
Because at least then it would be.
At least then you'd have Jonah Hill's acting behind it, and Jonah Hill, even when he's an arsehole, is a likeable arsehole.
And if they're trying to be Jonah Hill, but they have Jonah Hill, then there you are.
Then you're
it.
fine because
Yeah.
you have the real thing right there. You're not imitating. You have the actual thing. But yeah, that's my opinion of Grand Theft Auto 5. Feel free to disagree with me because I could be well wrong. And ultimately, if you like the game, you're having more fun than me, so you win.
And also, I also reckon
Because I've lost. I'm about 45 quid. You win.
And also as well, what I want to do is I want to do a recap episode when Ben's finished the game to see if his opinions changed.
Yeah, I'll do a
about it.
fo-
I was
do a
about to suggest
follow-up.
that, actually.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
I think you should.
Anyway, that was GEEKAMANIA. That was Ben.
I'm Mark. That's Carl.
And this guy's
Kia.
And that's Mikey.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Are we just going to stand here? Or
I think so.
Okay. Let's
I think this is the thing.
This
This
is
is what
nice.
we do now.